Dromana Estate was one of the first formed vineyards and wineries on the Mornington Peninsula, and it commenced operations in the early 1980s. In the late 1990s, Dromana Estate moved to the Turon property and underwent a major expansion with the planting of some 50 acres of vines and a new production facility. The Dromana Estate team over the last 30 years has been a very significant premium wine producer on the Mornington Peninsula. Recent awards for Dromana Estate include the Mornington Peninsula #1 winery for 2017. Our future plans include the planting of additional vines and also using cutting-edge technology to further improve the quality of our wines.
The history of Turon dates back thousands of years and is known to have been sourced by the Aboriginals who travelled and located themselves on the Mornington Peninsula. In the early 1840s, the British settlers arrived in Australia. William Thomas, one of those, is known to have travelled around the Mornington area with local tribes. He located himself and found and built this station and hut, which he named as Turon. In 1982, the land was turned into a winery and was one of the most influential wineries in the Mornington Peninsula area. The house at Turon reflects many construction eras, the dominant one being the late 19th century and interwar, where the garden to the east and associated terraces and pergolas are established in the house. The weeping elm, which is situated in the middle of the lawn, is thought to be over 100 years old and is great for people to sit out and enjoy their lunch and wine under the tree.
We're in a position where we produce quality fruit year upon year. Our positioning at the northern end of the peninsula makes us one of the earlier fruiting areas of the Mornington Peninsula, and so our vintage will look to be starting towards the middle to end of February. Typically our vines crop at around 3 to 4 tonne to the acre. In terms of the winemaking aspect, our philosophy here has always been a minimal intrusion into winemaking, so we try to keep our inputs in terms of chemicals and other winemaking materials to a minimum, to try and allow the fruit to really reflect the time and place, which is a French term called terroir. It's a method and a philosophy which was already in place when I started here, and it's something which we're all fairly determined to keep rolling along, because we think it produces wines which are truly reflective of time and place, and that is a unique feature of winemaking on the Mornington Peninsula, as opposed to particularly places that I've worked previously where the inputs are much greater.
What we do here is focus on the simple things that are abundant in our country, like good food sources. And the majority of the food that we put up here is sourced locally. We use places like Hawke's Potato Farm, who've been around for 100 years down in Borneo. We also try to use some of the heirloom vegetables and stuff that are grown around here. Also source things as ethically, caringly as we possibly can. So you're talking about free-range chickens and eggs, also sourced locally out of Somerville, and products like pasture-fed beef. So pasture-fed is allowed to grow and develop a bit more slowly with a more natural source of diet, and as a result you get a great richness in the beef that's provided, a very nice fat through the grain, and I hope you enjoy what I have to offer here.